Welcome back to the channel, guys. Mr. H here. I was smart. I changed my t-shirt. I'm not melting anymore. You can't see my wet patches. Oh, yes. So, being mad about Lady Thor means you're a fake fan. Oh, yes. So, the comments, inevitably, this always happens. It always happens. Any constructive critique of any changes gets met with, you are a troll. You are not a fan. You are this. You are that. And I was told this multiple times. Like, on the lead up to the Predator, I've covered Predator stuff extensively on the channel, and then when the lead up to the Predator, I was questioning it. I said, this doesn't look very good, there's some issues, the leaked script looked crap, and people were like, well, you're not a fan then. Does being a fan mean you have to be like blinded by your fandom? I don't understand. Surely being a fan means that you expect more from your franchise than being handed shite. So, it always happens. Like I said, it absolutely always happens. And we're getting it. The Mary Sue. I love the Mary Sue. It offers me, it sustains me. The misandrous tears sustain me. Oh, it does. So, first of all, she's mighty Thor. So get your facts straight. Second, being mad that Jane Foster is worthy of the hammer shows that you know nothing of the Thor comics. What, that run of comics, what was it, for 3 or 4 years, I think? Out of, what's it been like? 40 years of comics? What are you talking about, mate? Thor comics, and more importantly, it shows that you're sexist. A what? A what? Because we don't like the idea? No, doesn't mean you're sexist. It means that you don't like the idea. Doesn't mean you're sexist. It doesn't mean you're doesn't mean you're a bigot. This is nonsense. Take a leaf out of Sonic Director's book. Critical thought. You can have a differing of opinion. Stop living in your echo chamber. Yeah, I said it. And I've said this a few times, right? I want other people's opinions. So, just to throw it out there, I did the video about Valkyrie being an openly LGBTQ character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And in doing so, I had a lot of LGBTQ people reach out to me. Some shared my sentiments. Some came out with a very reasoned, civilized counterpoint. And I listened to them. And I will say this, maybe it was a misguided video. Maybe it was. But having just this straight up opinion here and just saying you are absolutely sexist, mainly because if Thor and Steve Rogers can be worthy of the hammer, why can't Jane Foster because she has a vagina? No. You have assumed that is the reason. You've assumed it. It might be that Natalie Portman isn't that engaging in the movies. It may be that she has given bad performances in these films. That she is a bit boring. Did you think of that? It might be that when the comics came out, those that read the comics didn't like it because it wasn't that inspired. Did you think of that? No, automatically sexist. The point of this, however, why isn't anyone calling these people misandrist? Why am I the only one saying this? If they're able to throw out this sexist comments, I can call you a bloody misandrist, right? Is that in an unsurprising turn of events, men are angry. Again, misandrist. There's women that don't like this as well, by the way. Why? Because 7 movies of Chris Hemsworth as Thor, and the promise of Chris Hemsworth as Thor in this same movie isn't enough. They want a shirtless Chris Hemsworth, and they only want him. So now you're going to... So not only are we sexist, but we want him because we want to see him shirtless? Are you accusing people of, like, wanting homoerotic scenes? What is going on in your head? You are mental. You really are mental. Let's be real. Which Thor do you think most people really want to see? Pup Hero over here isn't the only one to have a time over Lady Thor, which again is not her name. One angry gamer went on a rant, and then another site felt the need to say, see, the media is saying it is an outrage, but it was a ploy. Like they didn't just scream for an extended amount of time about a woman being worthy. My patience for this kind of tomfoolery is very limited. In the One Angry Gamer piece, they bashed the comics era of Jane taking on the Hammer. So what are you going to say about this? Because their piece was, for those of you unfamiliar with the female Thor, it was as bad as everyone said it was, laced with the sort of propaganda that the Marvel comics have become infamous for. So infamous that many of those comics ended up on the Get Woke, Go Broke master list and included blatant agitprop, such as Jane sharing an interracial kiss with Falcon after beating up some racist agitators. Oh my god. Oh, agitprop, yeah. Yes, I read this. Feel bad for me. But okay, but you haven't refuted it. This is what I always say when people hate on me for making these videos and they just say you're this, you're that, blah 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 blah. Okay, that's fine. But you haven't refuted my points. The same thing here. Rachel Leichman, you're not refuting anything, love. You are literally, I'm saying that on purpose, love. You are literally just sat here going, I don't agree with it. You're a dick. You're sexist. You're scum. Okay, but why? Tell me why you think this is a good thing. Tell me why you don't like their opinion. Tell me why it's the wrong opinion. Bearing in mind, no opinion's wrong. Just tell me why. Don't just say that you don't like it. Explain. Refute the points. Because you look like a screaming idiot. That's all you look like here. So it says, there were some wild takes out there, like one claiming that suddenly people who worship Thor for their faith would have a problem with this. They probably love drunk gamer Thor though, right? But that, I mean, it is a religion, or, you know, it was, Norse gods, like it is still an actual thing. It's got a point, and yeah, you're choosing like the worst takes ever. And some of them are going to be comedic as well. She isn't Thor, and Natalie Portman hasn't played a leading role in a successful franchise since the prequels. Yeah. This is the thing. Like, a lot of people's take on it is just that they don't like it because she's not a good actress. They would much prefer anyone to do it. But it says, but the One Angry Gamer piece and other angry responders have fueled many of us in a positive way, talking about Mighty Thor and our excitement for the return of Jane Foster. Imagining all of the basement-dwelling incel fanboys angry over Lady Thor in Thor 4. Sarah Hendricka Bickerton. So you call everyone an incel, right? Let's have a look. I don't want anyone to reach out to these people. But you're calling people incels. Okay. Because I just want to see the type of person that will label someone an incel. I think that's you. That one there. You're ready to call someone an incel, are you? If you were the only one that I could do on planet Earth, I would be an incel. No, I would be a volcel. I'd be voluntarily celibate. God damn. Don't throw stones when you live in glass houses. Not everyone that doesn't share your opinion is an incel and lives in their basement. I'm currently in my office. And it's light. And I'm sweating. Clearly not an incel. Very clearly. So, honestly, I have such a riot with this stuff. This stuff is like the best. Glad to see a female Thor wielding the hammer, but she can barely hold it up anyway. If you've seen the clip of it, it's laughable. She can barely hold it up. Anyway, this has been a comic series that is great, and Jane Foster being worthy of the hammer is a move by the MCU that's right in line with their comics. So take your angry tears and let all of us who are excited drink them up. Mighty Thor for president. But this is the thing, you still haven't justified why you think it's good, and it doesn't sound like you've read the comics either. Because it was to do with her having cancer. Like, how are they going to judge? She got cancer now? She got some of that ether still inside her? Is that what's doing it? You know, in execution it might work. But let's think rationally about this and critically. Natalie Portman hasn't been a good actress in these movies. That's my opinion. I think she's a bit dull. I think she's very nonchalant and very unengaging as an actress in these movies. She might be good in other things. These movies, don't particularly enjoy her in. So to see her try to be animated, because I can't imagine she wouldn't be, I don't think it's going to execute very well. It might do, and I stand corrected if it does. But there's that. There's the fact that you're adapting comic books which were not very well received. Some people liked them, inevitably, but they weren't that well received. So that stacks against it as well. And this is just rational, critical thought here. Why did Thor go through that massive character arc in Endgame for his next solo outing to be outshone again? Because he went through a big character arc. We now need to see the back end of that, right? We need to see him rise to prominence again. Be Thor. But he's going to be outshone potentially by the mighty Thor, female Thor. So these are rational decisions here. These are rational, critical opinions. Please refute them. Please refute them. These are justified points as to why this doesn't sound particularly great. So rather than just sitting there saying I'm an incel, sat in my basement, even though I'm very clearly not, refute my points. And also, guys, if you really want a good laugh, head on over to marysue.com. It is full of misandrist propaganda. It is hilarious! So, again, I said it at the start, I believe. Thank you very much for hitting subscribe. Thank you very much for hitting that like button and sharing this video. I've been Mr. H. Take care.